Devin, someone just came up to me and said, I think that taxes are unfair and discriminatory. What do you think about that?
I think that in many ways they are very unfair, although I'm not sure about discriminatory.
What is the definition of discrimination?
How it's used today is discriminating or saying, no, you can't do that to a specific type of person or
Right.
under protected classes.
If they're a protected class, because I mean, some things are good to discriminate against. Like, we don't let axe murderers move into our apartments with little children living next door. That's not a protected class. The things we don't like to discriminate against are race, religion, color, national origin. You know what? Some of those just all blend together. I don't know what the difference is. But if you look at somebody and they're just the same as you, and they haven't done something terribly wrong in their life to preclude them from it, that's what they talk about discriminatory. So I'd have to say taxes don't discriminate against anybody because of their color, their religion. They do kind of discriminate against you if you make more money, but not really. How is it fair to have this graduated income tax? They do that, and the reason I think that's not discriminatory is because you can choose to earn money and pay more in taxes, or to create money, which is not working income, it's not earned income. And if you create money by creating value out of something, like writing a book, or adding value to a rental property, that is taxed wildly differently than if you go out and get a college degree and get a high-paying job, right?
Absolutely.
So is that fair? I would go with, no, it's probably totally unfair, especially to the middle class. You know who pays the most in taxes?
The middle class do.
But they always say, no, let's tax the rich to get this. We just got at least a half a dozen comments on Instagram. Let's tax the rich.
But the rich don't really pay that much in taxes.
And how is that fair?
Because, well, some people would say there's loopholes, but it's like a net. It needs those holes to work. It's what the government says, hey, do this. We need you to do that. We need you to provide housing.
So what you're saying is that the tax code is written like a fishing net. They are not loopholes that let things slip through. The net would be totally useless if it was made like a plastic bag. It could not work with all these holes. And every one of those holes, which is the vast majority of the tax code, there's like that many pages in the tax code and about that many that teach you how to pay taxes. All the rest tell you how not to pay taxes. And the way you don't pay taxes is, what you say, just do what the government wants. Well, what are some of the things the government wants you to do?
They want you to provide housing. They can't do that, and people need it.
So they can do that, and it's called what? The projects?
Pretty much.
So they can provide housing, but most people don't want to live there. Do they give you huge tax breaks for making food? Not really. Why? Because they can do bread and circuses, government cheese, food stamps, EBT. It's been the same for thousands of years. The names change, but they can provide food. They just can't provide housing. And you know what else they can't provide? They can't provide jobs. I mean, trust me, we have plenty of government jobs, but they don't really produce anything. Name any one of the government departments out there that produces something. Tell me, what patent do they have? What copyright do they have? What is it that they do that you can't live without? And if you say roads, they don't make roads. We've got Beaver Construction. They build roads, right?
Right.
So all they do is take money away from taxpayers, which you're saying is mainly the middle class, and then they spend it on things. And if you listen to our radio show, which is live every weekday from 7 to 8 a.m., there's a link on our website, RealPowerFamily.com. Just click on it and you can live stream it, even if you're not near one of the 16 stations it's broadcast on. But it's the Real Power Family radio show. Ethan and I spent an entire half an hour, which will be coming out about the same time as this, talking about how unfair these things are and what you can do to benefit from them. So check that out. And I think to sum this up, taxes are not discriminatory. Everybody has equal rights. They all have the same chance to do something. And if you choose to be poor and make excuses and blame other people, well, then you're probably going to maintain being poor and you won't pay taxes because you don't make enough money. If you choose to get more education and work harder, then you're going to get stuck in the middle class and you're going to pay the highest in taxes. And when they say we're going to tax the rich, what they mean is every time you get a raise, we're not only going to take more of your paycheck, we're going to take a higher percentage of your paycheck. And if you listen to what they cannot provide, housing, the government cannot provide jobs that produce anything. If you can create a business that does that, that is where you can make piles of money. It is nothing to become a millionaire in 3 to 5 years, to become financially free in less time than that. You will be able to do that and all the while pay way, way less in taxes. I mean, somewhere between 0 and 10 to 25% as much as your highly paid employees out there. Is that a good summation?
I think that's a pretty good summation. Other than, I just thought of something. What about the kiddie tax? Isn't that for people under 18?
All right, so they're totally discriminated against anybody that's under 18. It is 100% unfair that you have to pay it. And since you are not in any voting block yet, if you want to change the laws, you probably need to be old enough to vote or hire enough people to vote the way you want. Until next time, get out there and make the world a better place.